What's up, everybody? I'm the Sonoran Desert Grower, and today we're gonna do some news that you can use. It is June 28th, 2022. This is an article that I found. It's entitled Arizona Legislature Approves Historic Funding for Water Projects but Fails to Protect Rural Groundwater. Statement of Kevin Moran, Associate Vice President, Regional Affairs. Now, this is very important because in Arizona, there is basically no rules governing groundwater. You can pull out as much as you want. No one is overseeing how much you pull out. And this is particularly important in rural Arizona, where big agriculture comes in and sets up shop, and they'll grow alfalfa, they'll grow pecans, all kinds of stuff. And we're in a water crisis. We're in a historic mega drought. Okay. The Arizona Legislature approved legislation June 25th that dedicates $1.2 billion to water projects in response to plummeting Colorado River reservoirs. However, for the third year in a row, the legislature failed to respond to pleas from rural communities seeking to manage their groundwater supplies and secure their water future. The legislature's approval of additional funding for water projects in the 2022-2023 budget is encouraging, especially $200 million for historic investments in improving surface water flows, groundwater recharge, and aquifer health, and watershed protection. I want to especially commend and thank Rep. Morgan Abraham, Rep. Andres Cano, Senator Lizzie Atondo, and Rep. Reginald Boulding, who all helped lead the way to the conservation funding. At the same time, the legislation fell far short of what's needed to meet the daunting challenges we face in Arizona of mega drought supercharged by climate change, said Kevin Moran, Associate Vice President, Regional Affairs, Environmental Defense Fund. So this article is written by the Environmental Defense Fund, right? It's written by this person that um, is quoted here. As Colorado River conditions are becoming more dire by the day, we need an all-of-the-above approach to managing our water supplies that includes conservation, cost-effective augmentation, and a regulatory framework. It is not enough to focus on increasing water supplies through desalination, which to the extent feasible will take at least a decade and only backfill a fraction of the cuts in the Colorado River water that Arizona has already taken. And such augmentation doesn't help rural Arizona communities protect their water supplies. They do have nor the rivers, streams, and springs on which we all rely. Arizona's communities and unique water-nourished places need protections now. In the next few months, we need to begin wisely deploying the conservation funding approved by the legislature, greatly expand conservation of Colorado River water, and move toward a greater commitment to water conservation across all of society. And we must resume work soon on the unfinished task of providing rural Arizona communities with the groundwater protection tools and resources they are asking for, said Moran. So this is sad news. We have farms from Saudi Arabia. Uh, we have farms from all over coming in and setting up shop and just depleting groundwater resources. And there's nothing these communities can do right now. Okay, let's read this little piece right here. One of the world's leading international nonprofit organizations, Environmental Defense Fund, creates transformational solutions to the most serious environmental problems. To do so, EDF links science, economics, law, and innovative private sector partnerships with more than 3 million members and offices in the United States, China, Mexico, Indonesia, and the European Union. EDF scientists, economists, attorneys, and policy experts are working in 28 countries to turn our solutions into actions. Subscribe to our blog on the waterfront. Nothing happens when I click on it. All right, so I'm gonna be reporting from this blog on the waterfront in the future. This seems like a good resource. So this is not good. I I really feel bad for rural residents of Arizona because there's no plan B. And if the water runs out, the water runs out, and you will have to truck it in from wherever you can get it. So this is just more of the same. And this kind of highlights also the power that big farming, the ag this really highlights the power that corporate agriculture has in the state. The reason it did not pass, the reason it did not get regulated is because it's going to hurt the pockets of corporate agriculture. So it's not good. We are losing a lot of water due to the situation with Lake Mead and Lake Powell. And of course, that is connected to the water levels in the Colorado River. So it just does not look good. The future does not look good for rural Arizona. I would suggest not buying rural land right now and maybe even selling rural land if you do have it. And it's sad to say, but if I was in rural Arizona, I would really consider moving out of Arizona to somewhere where there is water because it's not looking good for our future. And with that depressing news, I will leave you until the next one. If you like this sort of content, please subscribe to the channel. It's free. Just click the subscribe right there. I have a lot of exclusive tutorials on my Patreon account. I have recently, I'm working on publishing an updated dryland permaculture growing guide. It's going to be in a book format and it's going to be exclusive to my Patreon community. So please check it out at www.patreon.com/the Sonoran Desert Grower, and I'll see you in the next one.